The Glazer ownership. Forgive the repetition, but this is the festering wound that every United fan feels acutely. A Europa League trophy gleaming under the floodlights would be a double-edged sword for them. On one hand, it's silverware, something tangible to point to in their defense, however flimsy that defense might be. On the other, it provides the ultimate leverage for the disgruntled fan base. You've delivered a trophy despite your underinvestment, the chants would roar, amplified tenfold. The calls for a sale, already deafening, would reach a fever pitch. Every misplaced pass in the subsequent Premier League games, every perceived lack of ambition in the transfer market would be weaponized with the Europa League trophy as Exhibit A. Imagine what we could achieve with owners who actually care. The financial implications for the Glazers would be complex. Does a trophy increase the club's valuation, making it a more attractive and expensive prospect for potential buyers? Or does the sustained pressure from a trophy-winning but still deeply unhappy fan base make their position untenable, forcing their hand? The business pages would be as frantic as the sports sections, dissecting every rumor of potential bids, every cryptic statement from interested parties. The hashtag Glazers out, a constant presence on social media, would morph into a rallying cry of unprecedented intensity, perhaps even spilling into organized boycotts and protests that dwarf anything seen before. Ronaldo's ghost, a spectral return? The Cristiano Ronaldo saga ended with a bitter taste in the mouths of many United supporters. His explosive interview, his departure under a cloud, it left a void, not just on the pitch, but in the narrative surrounding the club. A Europa League triumph would resurrect his ghost in the most dramatic fashion. The inevitable comparisons would begin instantly. Could Ronaldo have led us to this? Did his departure ultimately galvanize the team? Pundits would dissect his interview with newfound scrutiny, searching for clues and hidden meanings. Imagine the awkwardness if United were to face Al Nassr in a future Club World Cup. The storylines would write themselves. Would Ronaldo offer a grudging congratulations? Would he publicly acknowledge his former teammates' success? Or would he maintain a stoic silence, perhaps even hinting at what could have been? The fan forums would be a battleground, with one side claiming vindication, "We're better off without him," and the other lamenting the lost potential. Imagine if he'd stayed. This Europa League trophy wouldn't just be a piece of silverware, it would be a key piece in the ongoing and often acrimonious debate about Ronaldo's legacy at Old Trafford. The Premier League chessboard, overturned. The Premier League is a delicate ecosystem, a finely balanced hierarchy constantly being challenged. A Manchester United Europa League victory would be like a rogue pawn suddenly threatening the king. The psychological impact on their rivals would be significant. Manchester City, basking in their recent dominance, would suddenly have a resurgent United breathing down their necks, a tangible reminder of the historical power struggle between the two clubs. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, all would have to recalibrate their strategies, knowing that a wounded giant has found its footing once more. Tactically, a Europa League win would provide Erik Ten Hag with undeniable credibility. His methods, his signings, his team selections, all would be validated by tangible success. Opposing managers would have to approach games against United with a newfound respect, perhaps adopting more cautious tactics. The aura of Old Trafford, which had waned in recent years, would begin to return, intimidating visiting teams once more. The race for Champions League spots would become a brutal six-way battle, with no guarantees for even the most established sides. The narrative of the Premier League season would be irrevocably altered, with United's resurgence becoming a central theme. The transfer war chest unlocked. Champions League football is the siren call for elite players. It's not just about the prestige, it's about the financial rewards, the opportunity to compete at the highest level, and the chance to etch their names in European history. A Europa League trophy guarantees that coveted spot, transforming United's appeal in the transfer market overnight. Suddenly, those seemingly unattainable targets, the world-class striker, the midfield maestro, the rock-solid defender, become within reach. Imagine the agents' phones buzzing incessantly. United's name suddenly a desirable destination again. The club's recruitment team would be working overtime, drawing up shortlists, negotiating deals, and preparing to unleash a wave of talent on the Premier League. But it's not just about attracting new players, it's about retaining the existing ones. Key players who might have been considering their futures would be more inclined to stay, drawn by the prospect of Champions League football and the tangible evidence of the club's ambition. The Europa League trophy wouldn't just be a piece of silverware, it would be a powerful recruitment tool, a statement of intent that resonates with the world's best players. Carrington's crucible forged anew. Manchester United's Academy, Carrington, has a rich history of producing world-class talent. But in recent years, the pathway to the first team hasn't always seemed clear. A major trophy win for the senior side can reignite the dreams and aspirations of the young players within the academy. They would witness firsthand the rewards of dedication and hard work, seeing a tangible example of what can be achieved in the famous red shirt. The coaches and staff at Carrington would be invigorated, their belief in their methods strengthened. The success of the first team would serve as a powerful validation of their efforts. Imagine the increased motivation among the youth ranks, the extra hours put in on the training pitches, the burning desire to follow in the footsteps of the trophy-winning senior players. A Europa League triumph wouldn't just be a victory for the present, it would be an investment in the future, potentially ushering in a new era of homegrown talent at Old Trafford. The Manchester divide, a chasm widened, then bridged. The Manchester Derby is more than just a football match. It's a clash of cultures, a battle for the soul of a city. A United Europa League victory would throw gasoline onto this already fiery rivalry. The bragging rights would be monumental, the social media warfare reaching unprecedented levels of toxicity and hilarity depending on your allegiance. City fans, accustomed to dominance, would suddenly face a resurgent United with tangible proof of their ability to win major silverware. However, beneath the surface of the fierce rivalry, there's also a shared identity as Mancunians. A major European trophy returning to the city regardless of the club can also foster a sense of collective pride. While the immediate aftermath would undoubtedly be filled with partisan celebrations and taunts, there's a possibility that, over time, this shared success could lead to a more nuanced dynamic between the two sets of supporters, a grudging respect for each other's achievements on the European stage. Perhaps, in the long run, a United Europa League win could contribute to a stronger overall footballing identity for the city of Manchester. Beyond the beautiful game, a city united in celebration. The impact of a major trophy win extends far beyond the confines of the football pitch. It permeates the very fabric of the city. Imagine the scenes in the pubs and bars of Manchester. The streets overflowing with jubilant supporters, red flares painting the night sky. Complete strangers would embrace, united by a shared sense of joy and pride. Businesses would thrive on the increased foot traffic and celebratory atmosphere. The local news would be dominated by stories of the victory, showcasing the city's passion for its football clubs. For a city that has faced its share of challenges, a moment of collective celebration like a Europa League triumph can provide a significant boost to morale and civic pride. It's a reminder of the city's rich sporting heritage and its ability to come together in moments of shared triumph. The feel-good factor would be palpable, injecting a renewed sense of optimism and energy into the city as a whole. The ripple effect, global pandemonium. The consequences wouldn't be confined to Manchester or even England. Manchester United is a global brand, with millions of supporters around the world. A Europa League victory would send shockwaves of elation through their global fan base. Social media would explode with celebratory messages. Fan forums would be inundated with ecstatic posts, and the sale of merchandise would skyrocket. For many international fans, supporting Manchester United is a deep-seated emotional connection. A major trophy win validates their loyalty and provides a moment of